Hello everybody, I'm the Sonic Arrow and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Now, as you can see, I am currently grinding out some levels with Waka. I didn't want to do that, so let's just finish them off quick. Now, I'm still playing on the same save file I was last night, but I realized I screwed up quite a bit with how I set this up. Like, I was looking up some videos to make sure I was doing this right. And technically, there is one thing I am not going to be doing in the guides I was watching. But, so, I basically set everything up wrong. Well, not everything. Like, a couple of things were set up wrong. But, so, first of all, before I completely restart a new game, I'm going up to see Tidus. And I'm going to explain exactly why. So, Tidus, one-on-one, no problem, take you down myself. So, it's easier to parry Tidus because he will do that backflip, or he will continue running after us, and then either do an overhead flip, or that overhead swing. And what you want to do is parry him, because he gives you double the tech points that Waka's Blitzball does. So, parrying Tidus is actually a lot better. You gotta get good at parrying his attacks, but I'm doing pretty alright. Like, I haven't practiced, like, I'm actually doing this blind after watching a couple of guides on Destiny Island's 100, level 100. Ouch. Ouch. But, it just, I did almost everything wrong, like, setting this up. And I'll explain all the differences in a few. Like, I'll do what I can against Tidus. But, basically you just want to attack and back off, and if he chases you, welcome his attack. But if he does that backflip, wait till he's done with the backflip and then run back up to him. But you can parry him out. You can basically parry him, but you have to run away after he does a backflip and then run up to him. Otherwise, he does the overhead swing, and that means you didn't wait long enough before running up to him. So it's a matter of timing, and like there. Like, after he's landed on his feet. Like now, I have to run back up to him, so I can get my XP much easier. So it's just a matter of, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I like countering Waka's Blitzballs, but I don't know. It's just so much slower because Tidus is walking up to you and attacking with a stick and not just using an extension of himself. Actually, his stick is an extension of him, but he's not hurling a projectile or what Selphie does, which is like hurling an extendo whatever, so she's not up close and personal. I guess because Tidus is getting up close and personal, it's much better for experience gain. But I'm almost to level 12, which will give me the tech boost ability, which is good, because that doubles our XP that we get from parrying. And we can technically do the same thing with block as soon as we get the block ability, which I think is level 15 actually. Level 15 or 18. But yeah, it's just so much easier to level up with Tidus than it is Waka or Selphie for whatever reason. Like, his counts as like a sword and theirs counts as like projectiles, I guess. But look at that, I just got tech boost and upped my maximum magic points, so that's good. Which is what I wanted. but it's all for nothing because I gotta finish this. Oh, I got 2. I get double XP from Tidus. That's cool. But abilities: Sora, Tech Boost, increase tech points obtained by parrying enemy attacks. It costs 2 AP, and now I'll show you what that means. So, we now double our XP, which is good. But I'm gonna have to finish Tidus. So parry his attack and then just beat the snot out of him. There we go. But we still only get 2 XP for beating him because it's technically not parrying an attack. It's just defeating an enemy. Anyway, so I gotta go to the save point and show you all exactly what I'm doing. So, we'll quit out of the game. Oh, there we go. Title screen. There we go. I think I wanted to go to main menu instead. Shoot. Nope, never mind. Title screen is main menu. Alright, so we're once again starting a new game. Now, on beginner mode, there's a problem because we get extra items on beginner mode. Begin with rare items in easy mode, and technically that will help us with XP boosts a lot. And we get the XP ring, which is an accessory we put on Sora, and then we get defense and attack boosts and AP boosts, which are items that increase our stats. So, attack, ability points, and magic points. So, technically, that's starting you off really well, and you already get the tech boost ability straight out the starting gate. But because I'm doing proud mode, I don't have that luxury. So, we're not doing beginner mode, because I am no poos. I'm not going to poos out and say, yeah, let's do this on easy mode. And do we watch the intro again? For the sake of time, no. If you want to see the intro, go watch episode 1. I highly recommend it. So much to do. Skip. We're just gonna skip all these cutscenes. So, again, I did this right. So we want the shield. The power of the Guardian. Shield to repel all. Is that the power I seek? Yes. Your path is set. Now what do I give up in exchange? Now, I was right. We lose 3 ability points if we give up the staff, but we can easily make up the loss in attack power with stat boosting items. So that's no problem. And AP is going to be split up pretty evenly between us, Donald, and Goofy later. So as soon as we have all of the boosts for our stuff, we're going to skip this scene too. We're just going to skip through all of it. So Cinderella, dive through the heart. Now, I don't know if I want to give you story points yet or not, because I had this revelation as soon as I played the first game, like this game. As soon as I played this game, it made sense why I'm seeing the princesses and their dives to the heart. But I'm not gonna spoil that because that's just a whole story beat that we need to experience. Now, there are a couple of ways to level up quickly. Like, gain a few levels out the starting gate as soon as we're here at Dive to the Heart. So there's gonna be ways that we can do stuff before we get to the Destiny Islands. Can't open it. Come on. Come on. Come on. And we don't get anything from that because it's Dive to the Heart. It's a manifestation of our brain doing whatever it's doing. So smash them. Sometimes destroying objects yields items. So we did get a potion. That's pretty cool. I guess we can't open the menu here. Ta-da! But I do know that we are going to be leveling much quicker now, because there are ways to increase our XP gains while also minimizing the amount of XP we need. And to explain that, we're gonna need to be here. Hold on, the door won't open just yet. Tell me more about yourself. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Talk, yes. So, like I mentioned, midday. Starting at midday means an even spread across the board of our levels. However, this one makes our adventure begin at dawn, or daybreak, or something like that, just in the beginning of the day, instead of midday. Now, that means we're going to need less XP, I think, than midday. It's like 900,000 for all three first options. The middle one's like 950,000. However, something interesting, you only need 800 and some thousand if your adventure begins in the dead of night. Being indecisive. Yeah, you like to collect neat things, you want to be strong, you're afraid of being indecisive. Yes. Your adventure begins in the dead of night. Your road won't be easy, but a rising sun awaits your journey's end. Now this, it cuts down our need of experience to get to level 100 by like 100,000 XP. I did not know that. The day you will open the door is both far off and very near. So, like, that is strange. Like, our experience grows faster at the last half, like 51 to 100. Is that right? Yeah. Level 51 to level 100. And it just... It's redonkulfer. Yes, I know that's not how you say that. That's a line from the Disney XD show Crash and Bernstein. It's one of my favorite brain rot type shows I've ever seen. Like, it's just stupid, and I love it. I don't know why. I just do. It's just that kind of funny. It's like giggling at fart jokes. It will never not be funny. The closer you get to light, the larger your shadow becomes. Oh, no, wait, this is a save point. And I know I could technically have the tech boost item if I was playing easy mode, but I'm not playing easy mode. I refuse to degrade myself and play easy mode. So, no, we're not playing easy mode. We're saving over the Seaside Shack, because this way we don't have to worry about different save slots and blah 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 blah. I'm just using this as my save slot. Ugh. I don't mind starting a game over. It's just if I was halfway through, I would be a little upset. But hey, there's no need to be upset. Whoop. So, where? So, it's very good to defeat all the shadows, like, early on. Like, as long as he will spawn them, like, defeat them. It is quicker to just run up the side of his arm and punch his head. But we can parry these orbs. And it gives us 3... Ouch. It gives us 3 XP every time we parry one. And then he'll summon some more Heartless. And bada boom. There's more shadows. We can defeat them in 3 hits because they're weaker. And they also drop XP orbs, so if we get hit a few times, it don't matter. I'll lock onto the head again, because he's gonna... Oop, what's he doing? I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's getting down again? No. What's he doing? Oh, yep, he's getting down again. Ouch. Ouch. That was a good bunch of XP. And now we're down to critical health. Now you're gonna punch the ground again? Yep, you are. Now come to me, delicious shadows. You will be consumed! There's even Cutlery right there. So I can consume them. And bada boom. I got them all. Ah, and 18 experience. Jesus, that was good. So we leveled up a few times. Now we're gonna skip this. We're just gonna skip through all of this, and then I'm gonna move on to farming Tidus. So, let's get to it. Let's get back to the game. Okay, talk to Kairi. I heard you. 2 logs, 1 cloth, 1 rope. Log. The other one's up here. But we're going to get that one last because then we can just run back down the bridge and go straight to Kairi. Now, I think the worst way to try to grind experience is through battling Riku, because he has no discernible pattern. Like, he has 3 different attacks. A lunge attack, a basic swipe, and one he does after a jump. No, he'll you knock him back and then he kicks forward. And it's just not good, because sometimes he'll even, like, block your attacks and start taunting you, like, come on, you're gonna come get me, and then if you try to attack him, he'll block, and then if you knock him back, he'll jump forward, and it's really hard to dodge or block. So it's just not the best way to try to grind XP, and the best way is actually Tidus. You can technically do the 3v1, but it's also not very good. Now, abilities, Sora, no, I am level 3, okay. Yeah, I leveled up twice during that, whole scene. So, it's just back to what we were doing with Titus. You know, I noticed a detail in some older games, like, if you bring out the Keyblade, or, like, your weapon, in any of the earlier titles, you just never put it away unless you do something like going up the ladder there, and it just goes away. I'm feeling lucky. But in Kingdom Hearts 3, you you just in Kingdom Hearts 3, after a while, with outside of battle, Sora will just put away his Keyblade automatically. Like, you don't need to prompt it, and that's a nice little detail. Like, it's just such a weird thing to see him just run around with the Keyblade even though there's no need to. It's like, who are you showing that off for? Like, we all know you have the Keyblade, Sora. Like, what's going on? But just, it's just one of those things that, like, they didn't need to add the detail, but it was a nice addition. And that's why I'm excited to get to Kingdom Hearts 3, among other things, because, like, for the time, this game was great. Like, it was the first, and, like, how could you, like, top Kingdom Hearts? But the sequel took that and injected steroids into it. And it was for the PS2 also. Like, both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 were released on the PS2. So, like, it's amazing to see, like, the difference a couple of years made on the PS2. But, like, ouch. But just, like, it's just so amazing to see how they improved the Kingdom Hearts experience with just a couple of years in between. Like, it's just so amazing. Ouch. Well, that was embarrassing. But it's just so amazing to see how Kingdom Hearts changed between 1 and 2. I'm just so amazed. And, like, then they did Chain of Memories, and okay, it was a Game Boy Advance game, like, very limited graphics-wise. Yeah, that's good. Like, it was good for what it was. Although, it was kind of odd. Like, the card battle system. Just, the card battle system is janky and weird. And then, like, Reverse Rebirth, the Riku side of Chain of Memories, is just weird, because you have pre-built card decks, whereas with Sora, you can gather cards to your heart's content, and just fill a deck full of Mega Flare if you farm the Mushu card on Destiny Islands. And it'll make sense as soon as we start playing Chain of Memories, but oh my god, just Chain of Memories was so weird. And the Riku half of the story just threw me, and like, I don't know, just, I'll have grievances for these first, like, 2 games, and then everything will be great, because that's where the series really got its polish. But, like, I told you this before, and I started with Recoded on the Nintendo DS, and, like, that's where my jumping off point was, but, like, the actual Kingdom Hearts 1 experience was just so great the first time I played it, and like it blew me away, like the magic system and the hotkey system. But like I really favor the the command wheel with like Birth by Sleep and Recoded, because the command wheel, I can set up a deck of commands to do basically what I want it to do, and just unleash my commands, wait for them to recharge, and then unleash hell once again. And like with Birth by Sleep, it added a layer of complexity with adding certain like materials or commands to get like certain abilities, and you can level them up by getting those abilities up to max level a certain amount of time. So like if it had 6 level slots, you basically gotta max out that ability 6 times. So let's say you have money, like treasure magnet, so items will be attracted to you from farther away. Like you can basically pull them into your gravitational pull and collect them from farther away. And that has like, I don't know, let's just say 6 levels. So you gotta make commands with that ability 6 times and max out the command bar, because you gain command points by defeating enemies, and the best way to do that is just defeat them with like area of effect commands like Mega Flare. Come on, Sora. There, got him. Yes, you are. Anyway, so like, just that's how you level up abilities in Birth by Sleep. And I found a really solid strategy for defeating as many enemies as possible. There is a spell in this game called Magnet. No, not this game. Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep. There's a command called Magnet, and it pulls enemies in so you can hit them all with like an area of effect spell like Thunder, or you can hold them there and focus on other enemies. It just does not work on bosses and some larger enemies, but the max tier spell called Magniga, that one can pull in some of the larger enemies. Get out of here. But, like, I used the Magnet spell, which drew enemies in, and then Thunder, which hit in a circle around you. So, like, it created a circle of thunder around you, and then any enemies caught in the circle were hit with a bolt of lightning from the sky. So it was great because it lets you take out massive areas of enemies very quickly, and drawing them all into one place, it made it very easy to hit them with thunder. And that was my strategy. I just basically had Magnet, Thunder, Thunder, Magnet, Thunder, Thunder. Like, I just had 2 sets of Magnet, Thunder, Thunder. One after the other. and it made it so easy to take out a lot of enemies really quick, especially in one certain world, because you could just exit the area and come back, and there would be new enemies spawning. They'd all be really close together. They'd all try to go after you, which means they'd get sucked into the magnet area, and that was good because it allowed you to just draw them all in very quickly. So you didn't have to waste time going around doing a couple of shots of magnet, and then make sure they're all in one place. Didn't have to run around like I'm doing now. Wait for them to come to you. And it provided so much efficiency in murder. It was just so glorious because I basically maxed out all the skills with that setup. Because I just have like my set of Magnet Thunder Thunder. I'd hotkey the quick select, which allowed me to just go back to a predefined command that I declared the start of the cycle, and I could just go back to cycle start and do it all over again, wait for them to charge back up, and then start the Magnet Thunder Thunder all over again. And that was great because, like I said, efficiency. And also I had my commands I wanted to level up with the abilities I had at the end of my command wheel, gaining passive experience. You don't have to use them, which is nice. You just need to make sure they're equipped so that they also gain XP. It's like having like multiple characters that can be in a party in a game where you can change out your party, like Golden Sun, The Lost Age, and Dark Dawn, where you have 8 characters and you can have a party of 4 active in battle at one time. And technically the ones on standby gain some experience, but not as much as those who are actually in battle. Either that or the ones on the back don't gain any experience and you have to have them out in the battle. I'm not sure about that one. But those games are great. I love them. But I also started with the DS game Dark Dawn, and a lot of people crap on that game just because it started out with one story and then deviated hard. And like, yeah, it deviated hard, but at the same time, like, I love the story of Dark Dawn, and I love the battle system and the field system, which lets you use synergy out in the field like it did in the first 2 games. But you have so much more field synergy that you can use that it's a huge improvement on the Lost Age and the first Golden Sun. I love Dark Dawn so much, but that's because I have rose-colored glasses every time I play it, because it's where I started. And like, I love the first 2 Golden Suns, and I finally got around to, like, when I finally got around to playing them, I actually bought the physical carts because I have I have a DS Lite that can play Game Boy games in the Game Boy slot on the bottom. And it's only Game Boy Advanced games. So, like, no Game Boy or Game Boy Color. Like, it's Game Boy Advanced. So, like, Chain of Memories, the original, because that was a Game Boy Advance game. And then there's, like, Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, which are Game Boy Advance games, but just that's how I like to experience my games, or that's how I play my Game Boy Advance games. But like, just there's something so great about Dark Dawn, and it's purely because of the fleshed out world and the, like, just it's just so good. Like there's points of no return which I don't like, which means some of the little collectible characters called Jin, DJINN. Those things you can miss a couple. Like some of them join with certain characters and then they leave and then they take them with them. But like there are some that are missable, and so like I like the nature of, oh, you need a, if you don't see them or know where to look, you need to look up a guy. And like I don't mind that so much because, you know, age of internet. I don't know. It's just Golden Sun Dark Dawn isn't as bad as people make it out to be. Like it's underhyped. It's not overhyped, it's underhyped. At least to me. And like the first Golden Sun, like I understand the hype. Like it's so good. Like it doesn't like force you to like min max your characters, cuz like you can switch the little collectible creatures around and change your character's class on a whim. Like the certain configuration of Jin, or the plural Jinny, the it just, depending on which ones you put on which character, you have different classes that you can have them be. So like there is a Wind Seer and a Water Seer, which is reserved for two of the characters, and that's their default class. So like you can put all Jupiter or Wind Jinny on them, and level them up to the max level in their class tree, because the more Jin of a corresponding type you put on them, the higher rank they'll be in that tree. And there's multiple ways to do it. You can do mono elemental, and each of the Jinny represent the four elements: earth, wind, water, and fire. So you can have mono elemental, where they have all of one kind. You can have dual elemental classes, which are, you take the character's main class, so like the Wind Seer, and give them all water or Mercury Jinny, and they turn into a different class, and that's a dual element, so they can cast the spells of both the wind and water elements. So it gives them versatility. Of course, you need to have, okay, you can have up to 9 Jin on any character at once. Like at the end, if you gathered them all and didn't miss any. If you missed any, well, it sucks to be you. But if you are diligent and collect them all, you put 7 of the Mercury Jin on your Wind Seer, and 2 Wind Jinny on the same character, and that's the max tier of their dual elemental class, whatever one that happens to be for the Jupiter Adepts. So you have 7 and 2 for a total of 9, but you have 2 of the corresponding elements, which is wind on the Jupiter Adept, and then you have 7 water on them. Now in Golden Sun 1, you can only have 7 Jin on one character, so you can only have up to the second to last class in their class tree. And when the Lost Age came around, you can use a password that is just a whole bunch of random characters, or actually hard-coded characters that look like they're random, depending on what you did, when, and where, and why. So, like, let's say you got all the Jin, like a certain subset of the code would be corresponding to all the Jin you got. But, like, in the Lost Age, you can get the last tier of the class tree, because you can then put 9 of each element, or 9 Jin on each character, which is ultimately the goal. But like, like Golden Sun doesn't force you into using one class. So it's not like Final Fantasy 1 where you select your class at the beginning of the game. They can only use a certain amount or certain set of weapons and armor and accessories and abilities if they can use like magic at all. So it's not like that at all. And your stats also change on a whim. And you have stat boosting items if you have like a character who's really good at like physical attacks but doesn't have such a good magic pool. You can use one of the stat boosting items on that physical character so they have a better pool of magic points called or psi points, PP, and it adds to the game. Or you can devote strictly to the class, what I call stereotypes. Like the knight is a physical attacker with not very good psi points and not a lot of good spells that capitalize on the high attack, because some spells go based off your attack stat and then others go based off of your defense, your magic and the opponent's magic defense. Like some of them just there's one called Ragnarok, which is a giant sword comes out of the sky, slices, like embeds itself in the ground at the enemy's feet, and then causes like a huge eruption of volcanic heat to come out of the ground where it's struck. And that goes based off the adept's like physical attack, like the attack stat, and not just the magic stat. This is also kind of like another spell called Cutting Edge, which is a mercury or water synergy, which can be achieved by putting, some mercury gin on like your fire user and making a dual elemental class with your fire user and a couple of fire gin and a lot of mercury gin. So I think it's actually called the Swordsman, but it's specifically for Mars adepts. And there's also the Swordsman for Venus or Earth adept, which is different and distinguished on the wiki, because for the Venus adepts they get Earth elemental abilities instead of the Fire elemental abilities that the Mars adept gets. And there's usually one version that's better than the other, and I think it's actually the Mars side which is better for some reason or another. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember that there are just some that are better uses of your Ginny than others. So like Cutting Edge is one of those that goes based off your physical attack. And there are some like that, so you wanna get the high strength characters with some synergy that corresponds to their high attack stat. And then there are some that boost the attack stat with certain ones will actually take your attack and add, let's say, 32, which is like the Cutting Edge spell. So that will actually do better because it goes based off the attack stat and adds to the attack stat. Either that or I'm totally wrong and the attack stat is the only damage calculator for using your spells. I have no idea. I just know that, like Pokemon, there are elemental weaknesses of monsters, or there are not. Like, some are weak to each of the 4 elements, like one of them. And then there are those that are not weak to any of them, but the game actually tells you if you're diligent enough, you can see that a super effective element will show 3 exclamation marks after tells you how much damage you did. So like, let's say you did 98 damage, triple exclamation mark. That means it was super effective. And then there is one element that they're not very weak to, and that will have just a period at the end, like, you did 98 damage. And then the other two are just kind of, meh, okay, it's normal damage. So it did 98 damage, which is a single exclamation mark. And, like, that's how you tell. Like, it's a pattern that you can pick up on very quickly, or you may never see it and someone has to point it out. I mean, I picked up on it, and then someone pointed it out, like, you can actually tell because of this. And it's like, oh yeah, I knew that, that's cool, someone else noticed that. Makes me feel less alone in my infinite knowledge. I say infinite knowledge, but it's very finite knowledge. Let me put it to you that way. I know that I know nothing, so... Like, I know I don't know everything, so that's why I keep looking stuff up to check on if I know what I think I know. So, you know. No, we don't know. Anyway, back to Kingdom Hearts. I just went on a whole rant about how great Golden Sun is, and I've been just playing a game of cat and mouse with Titus. But who's the cat, who's the mouse? I think I'm the mouse, but I think I'm Jerry from Tom and Jerry. We're playing Tom and Jerry, but I am Jerry on a good day. Like in a Jerry wins episode, where I'm turning the mousetrap back around on Tom and getting his tail or his hand or his nose. So like, I don't know. It's just a stalemate because Titus is sucking. Boom! And come at me again. Okay, I've got this pretty figured out. As soon as he starts running at me, after he does his backflip, that's safe to go at him, because then he's gonna do his normal attack that I can parry. But if I run before he runs at me, he'll do his overhead swing, which is basically him blocking an attack instead of me being able to parry an attack. So like he does this, he's gonna just attack us. If I'm too close or too far away, no, if I'm too close to him, he'll do his overhead flip swing, and we don't want that. We basically just want to keep parrying his attacks like this. And this is all it is. But yeah, basically we've gone from giving one of our friends a concussion to giving another one a concussion. Or giving him carpal tunnel because the impact of 2 wooden items colliding can really give you carpal tunnel or like swing in or this, that, or the other, and like it's just not good for anybody. But yeah, that's basically how we're cleaning up the run and how I'm gonna be getting good. So I'm gonna go until I'm like level 15 again or level 12. I think I need to go to level 15 because I get another no, wait. I think level 15 or 16 I get the guard ability. Anyway, this is where I'm going to stop for this episode. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I'm sorry that I bothered you about Golden Sun, but I hope I convinced you to play it. If you can't find a reasonably priced copy online because they're no longer being made, then see if you have any friends that have Golden Sun will let you borrow it or buy it off of them or even give it to you because they played it so much and they don't see themselves doing it, or just like if they'll let you borrow it, and if you have something to play it on, like borrow it for like a weekend. Try to play the game normally. Like just try to do a normal run of the game, or do whatever you want. Like borrow it for like a week or something. If your friends are willing to let you do that, like just if you have the ability to like borrow it from a friend or can get your hands on a copy for reasonably priced, then do it because it's such a good game. You won't be sorry. Just don't go download an emulator and like download a ROM off the internet because you did not buy it, you do not own it, and I cannot condone such acts because it's called piracy. And I cannot condone that act. So do not pirate the game. Try to find a legit copy, or if you have a friend that has a good collection of games and has Golden Sun, ask him, hey, will you let me borrow that for like a weekend? Just to dip your toes in, or see if they'll sell it to you if they're willing to part with it. I don't know. But just find a way to play it if at all possible. Just don't go down the illegal route. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. Oh, Golden Sun and The Lost Age are actually on the Game Boy Advanced emulator for Nintendo Switch Online. So if you have Nintendo Switch Online Plus account, you have access to Golden Sun on the Nintendo Switch. So there you go. Anyway, thank you everybody so much for watching. This game is so great. I love it. I don't care that it's janky and heavily dated. I will still play it. So that being said, thank you everybody so much for watching. This game's great, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye! You can't see me waving, but bye-bye!